Hey guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So in this example, we are going to see how we can consume the external APIs, guys. So in my application, I want some information. Let's say like I want to get the postal information. So I don't have such data in my application. So what I do, I hit the postal information and I get the desired response and I will use as part of my application. So in order to consume those external APIs, we are going to use REST template concept in Spring Boot. Let me show you the external API here. So this is nothing but the external API, guys. So it is going to return us the list of post offices presented in this city called Mumbai. Okay, so there were these many post offices are presented, guys. So how we are going to hit this API and get the response from our application? Okay, I have another one. This is a one. Okay, I have already developed, guys. So if I hit it, so it means like from our application, with the help of REST template, it hit the external API and we got the response back here. How to do it from the scratch, that we are going to discuss as part of this video, guys. Okay, so I am using this API, guys. This is a very simple one, postal API India. If you type, you will get this. Okay, here I am using this one. Okay, this is nothing but a get call, guys. Okay, this is nothing but a get call. How to implement all those things we are going to discuss now. Okay, so let me start it from the scratch. Okay, so I have the project created. In this project, what are the forms I have? This video is going to be little bigger, guys, so I hope you guys going to watch till the end. Okay, so I have the Lombok, I have the Spring Web, I have the that's it, nothing more. Spring Web, Spring Starter, Lombok, only these things you need. Okay, so let me close everything here, close all. So in my project structure, I have the main method ready, and this is a bean, REST template bean. This you need if your Spring Boot version is more than 1.4. Okay, so I have this controllers setup already set, guys, but I'm going to show you from the scratch. Okay, so here let me remove, delete everything so that we can do it from the scratch. This is a real-time example, guys. That style also I am going to show you here. Okay, so let me divide this into this kind of thing, 5 steps. This is nothing but a skeleton. Okay, what is the input you want to have, what is the output, what is the controller methods, and the service interface and service IMPL. Okay, so first let me create my package structure properly. So here code dot controller I will take, this is the one, and I will have service IMPL, service as an interface. Okay, and service IMPL also I will take, and then input and the output packages also will take. Input, then let's get the outputs, package and output. So our structure is ready, guys. Okay, this is our structure, right? So what is the input? Input is nothing but the this one, string variable. So leave about the input as of now. Let's focus on the output part. Okay, so if you see here, this is the bigger one. Let me put this in notepad plus plus, the response. Okay, so this is a big response we have, right? So if you see, this is nothing but a JSON array here, this much big, and then we have the JSON object, and everything is a JSON object, and the response is nothing but JSON array, guys. You see here, this is nothing but a JSON array here till the end we have. Okay, so we need to be mindful of that thing. Okay, so first let me create a Pojo class for this one, then I can create this one, then the entire thing. Okay, so also if you observe, these are written in the caps letter. First one is caps. Okay, this also you need to be really careful. Okay, so now let's create a, since we don't need input as of now, so let me create a classes in the output. Okay, so this has something like I'm creating for this one, right? So let me create as post office details, office details bin. As I said, I'm going to use Lombok, so I don't need to have the getters and setters. I can simply give these annotations. Import these getter setter annotations, guys. Now, private string. You see, this is a name, right? So, name. But if you observe, the name is in the caps letter, right? So for this one, what you need to do is JSON property and give this name properly. Okay, now import the JSON property. Okay, now I just copy paste this here so that I can refer very clearly. If you see this one, JSON property is coming from the Jackson, guys, so please import your Jackson as well if you have forgot to import. Since we have the similar, so let me copy paste this. Don't worry about the formatting, that we'll do. Okay, so name is completed, right? So description, branch type, delivery status, circle, district, division, region, after region what we have state. So region, we have the state, then we have country, then we have pin code. Okay, now let's remove this, guys. Okay, now you keep the chameleon format here. Select everything, put Ctrl I, then you remove extra line spacing between everything, so that now it is more readable format, right? Now you see how good it is now. Okay, now since we have completed this, now I can create these objects, right? So simple, create another class called post office post office response bin and you copy paste these setters and getters. Now if you see here, first take this message and status. Okay, so for that purpose let me copy this and paste it here, and this is as message status. Okay, message and status. So JSON properties you have linked here. Now this everything is nothing but your JSON list. This is JSON array, right? So how you are going to define here? Simple, private list of post office details bin, right? Post office details bin. Try to give this name, guys. Okay, post office details bin. Here you ensure JSON property. Even this, if we have this properly, then this will not cause any issue, guys. And take it from util and be small here. Okay, so this part I completed. Okay, JSON part till here I completed, but the response is in JSON array, right? So how that we are going to handle, slowly we'll see. Okay, so our request is done and the response is done. Then what we need to do, we need to create the controller method. Okay, so let's create a class in controller saying like something like postal details controller. Okay, so this must be our REST controller, right? REST controller, and request mapping as, let's say, like postal. Now let's import our REST controller and the request mapping. Okay, now here request mapping. Okay, I'm creating a get class, get method, guys. So let's say like value as by city. Okay, value as city, and method is equal to request method dot void get postal by city. Okay, now let's see request method. Now we got it. Okay, right. Now what you need to do is you need to see like this API is going to consume what kind of information and it's going to produce what kind of data. Okay, so it is going to consumes, okay, application type dot. So what kind of data it is going to consume, guys? Simple, you see here what kind of data. This is a text data, right? So here you just mention like application type consumes application type dot, just a minute, here consumes okay, sorry, media type dot all values you give, and produces what? It is going to produce the JSON, right? This everything is JSON, right? So here media type dot JSON value, application underscore JSON underscore value. Okay, so here now if you see this one, Mumbai, we are giving it. This part is going to vary based on the input that we are passing, right? So this one will be my request param. So simple request param string, let's say like pin, not pin, city, okay, and import that part, request param. Now what is going to be the response? Response is this object till here. Okay, let me put it, show you here. So response will be this part, right? This entire thing will be my response. Only one I will take, till here I am going to take. Okay, so my response will be response bean. This is my response, right? So if you have any doubt guys, please let me know in a comment section, because this is going to be little bit very tricky. As of now, let me return null. Okay, this is my get method. Okay, here what I'll do in my service, I am going to create one interface called postal service to show it's the interface I am going to use I before. This is a naming convention I follow. Okay, so here public postal response bean, okay, fetch post office details by city. I'll take string city. Okay, this is my interface guys. Okay, and in the service method I'm going to implement that interface. Okay, so simple postal service impl, which is going to implements I postal service. Now you just add unimplemented methods. Okay, this is my service, so let me show as a service as postal service impl, right? So just use something like this. Now let me auto-while this in my controller guys. Activate auto-while as this name. Now import Autowired, import iPostal service, and this part will going to fetch city based on the city, right? Now what I have is postal response bean, okay, let's say like postal response will come from here, and I'm going to return this guy. Okay, let's see if we need to add something. We will going to add something in these two, in the line spacing. Okay, so here let's go to the service impl. So this is my service impl, right? Here I am going to auto while my rest template, auto while rest template is equal to rest template. Let's import Autowired in service impl and the rest template as well. So this is how you are going to import this guy guys. This rest template is simply come from here. Okay, Now we just need to use that. Okay, so before to that, so now we have did the structuring part done, right? So now let's think about how we are going to hit the external API. Hit external API, right? This is going to be the get call. Okay, first you identify those parts. Okay, this is going to be the get call. What is my URL? What are my headers? What are my body? All those things you need to identify. I'm just telling you generically. Okay, so what is my URL? That part we'll see here. String URL. Okay, so simply go here, take your external URL, this guy. Okay, yeah. And this guy as of now as city, like this. Okay, now let me keep city value here. Now what I'll do is URL is equal to URL dot replace. Okay, so simply I am going to replace this city with the value presented from the parameter city here, and this guy is city value, right? So city value, you put one logger. As of now I don't have a logger, so I'm using sysout here. So URL is, okay, so your URL part is done. Now here you don't have the request entity, so you focus on the response entity now. Okay, so simply response entity what? So URL you have, you don't have the headers as part of this example, body as well. So I'll make another video guys where you are going to use these two. Okay, now you just need to hit this API. To hit this API, what will happen? You hit it, you get the response, right? So you need to map that response as well in the response entity. Okay, so response entity. Okay, so simply, yeah, this is my response, right? But if you see here, this is a string JSON array it's returning. Our API is returning only JSON object, but this one is JSON array, right? So you need to be mindful of that as well. So simply response bean of JSON array, simply use postal response entity, postal response entity. Okay, then what will you have? You have the rest template here with you. Rest template dot get for entity. You use this guy guys. Okay, you have so many, but I prefer to use this because I simply have the URL and what is the type of response I have. So my response type is dot class. Okay, this is my response type. This part you just need to assign it here, right? So you have the response entity properly set. Let's try to do one thing. Okay, response entity dot get status code value, and what else we have? Dot code get headers. You can do all these things guys. As of now I'm just going to use status code only. Okay, so just format it in the beginning. response status code is something like this. Okay, this looks good. Now since you have the response, now you need to pass this response to get these individual values like district, division, region, state, country, right? You need to pass these values. Okay, so how to do that? This is response entity dot get body. Okay, so you have this entire body now. Okay, this one will be in this object, right? Response been away. You have something like this. So from here, what you can do is you can iterate for um, for loop you can use, or else you can simply take the index at 0 as well. So for our learning purpose, I am going to use the for loop here. Response bean, something like response bean of response bean away here. Okay, once you have this from here, what you have, simply dot get post office details. Okay, these post office details nothing but what, these are the post office bean, right? Post, this is the one post office, right? So this is nothing but the list. It is returning me the list. So I am going to use that post office list bean, right? Now inside this list bean, again I am going to iterate post office details bean, let's say like POB, with inside this list bean. Okay, then simply use logger here, something like, since I don't have a logger as of now, I'm using sysout dot get name, then something like POB dot get country. Let me use one more, POB dot get pin code. Okay, these strings I have set. Okay, now how to handle this response? Simple, response bean dot get. Okay, I think this should be sufficient, guys. Okay, so this part is service IMPL. Okay, now let's go to the controller once. You will get it into this one, and I'm going to return this part. Okay, so postal service, I think everything is done, guys. I know it's little lengthy, but it's really useful, guys. Okay, so anything we are missing? Yeah, just a minute. In controller we have the request param. That request param is going here in the city. Okay, yeah, that's good. Now let's run our main file here. So as you can see, it started running at port 8080. Okay, so I have this local host 8080. Okay, now let's go to the controller. This is a postal, so I have postal, this is correct only. Now by city I have, so postal I'm going to use by city here. Now I have a request param with the city. So in params you add key as city, let's say value as Mumbai. Okay, now you try to hit this. Now you could see we got the entire response, guys. we got the entire response in JSON array, right? Now you could see we got this response properly, right? Now let's try it for, instead of Mumbai, let's try for Kolkata. We got the response here as well. Now instead of this, let me try for Hyderabad. I hope you guys understood now. Okay, this is the example of the REST template using the get call, guys. Okay, this is a small example. We are going to make lots of other videos on top of this. If you have any doubts, please let me know in a comment section so that I can help you more on this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. It's me, Karthik, signing off.